Hello everyone, my name is Chandulal Chandrakar and I am here to address the major notions that Chinese friends are having about India. There are trending videos in Chinese social medias that are trying to eulogize India. However, most of them are intuitive and including those considered counterintuitive in their explanations are also there. It therefore is important to see India through rational data scale. There are three major notions that Chinese friends are having about India. India is a highly populated country. Crimes against women are very high in India. Casteism is still practiced in India. These questions need further investigations in terms of comparative population densities and also the crime rates in the respective countries. And also, what does the reported data say about crimes pertaining to casteism in India? We shall look into these one by one. But first of all, let's understand administrative divisions of India briefly. India geographically is a peninsula which is bounded by the Great Himalayas in the north and it stretches southwards at the Tropic of Cancer. It tapers off into Indian Ocean between the Bay of Bengal on the east and the Arabian Sea on the west. It is the part of the continent Asia. It is seventh largest country in the world and it is neighboring country of China. India is divided into 7 cultural zones, namely northern, northeastern, central, south central and western zones. Southern and central zones have been carved out into south central zones. They are having their respective headquarters at Patiala, Dimapur, Kolkata, Allahabad, Nagpur, Tanjavur and Udaipur. These 7 zones are further divided into 28 states and 8 union territories. There are also 25 small autonomous council districts in India. These autonomous council districts are mainly located in the northeast zone and only 2 are at the northernmost zone of India. However, area in the yellow rectangle is a part of South Tibet and is claimed by China. India's administrative division, if we see, can have 9 hierarchies, 9 levels of hierarchies from country to the individual. Chinese notion about India, the first notion is India is highly populated. Let's start with this notion. In order to understand the first notion, we have to see whether India is a highly populated country or not. And for that we need to see the country from the spread of population perspectives. Indian population is divided into rural and urban areas. According to the most recent data available of the Indian government, that is for the year 2012 and 13, there are 597,608 inhabited rural areas in the country called villages. However, there are 43,324 uninhabited areas, rural areas in the country. And there are only 7,933 urban areas or towns in the country. If we see the spread of population in terms of rural and urban areas, one-third of the total population are residing in urban areas, and the rest two-thirds of the population is residing in rural areas. In terms of genders, the spread of the population is closely proportionate with that of the nature of the total population of the country. If we see the Chinese notion that India is a highly populated country, we would need to compare the population density of the two countries. The total population density of India is 382 people spread per square kilometer. It is even lower in rural areas, that is 279 people inhabited per square kilometer. However, the total urban population density is 3,685 people inhabited per square kilometer. According to the most recent data available on Chinese population, that is the year 24, total urban population is very high as compared to its rural population. This graph is a depiction of World Bank data that shows a comparison of population density in terms of total land area between India and China for the years 2013 to 2022. The blue line shows population density trends in India and the yellow line is the population trend in China, counted per square kilometer. This comparison between India and China shows that India is thrice more populated than that of China. However, according to the data of Government of China on population density from 2014 to 2024, there are not much differences in the density per square kilometer people residing in the country. But certainly there is a little rise in it. But for how would Chinese people perceive the population density of India, for that matter, we have to see the population density of India a little more closely. Generally, a Chinese friend visits the urban areas of India. It is therefore the data of interest would be the population density of the urban areas. That is to say, if a Chinese living in an average city of China goes to the most densely populated city of India, he would find it 31 times more densely populated than what he perceives normally. However, if we spread the 205 most populous areas of India on a line which are having population density of more than 10,000 people per square kilometer, we could find that most of them are spread at the leg of the population density line. This portion has density ranging from 40,000 to 10,000 people per square kilometer. On the basis of this, if we comply on average density of 15,000 people per square kilometer, by calculation it is still 5 to 6 times more densely populated than the average density of the Chinese urban areas. These most densely populated urban areas are mostly located in 7 states of India, namely Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. I believe by this time I have almost addressed the first notion of the Chinese friends about India. Now let's move to the second notion, that is, crime against women are very high in India. For this we have to see what does the crime portal of India have to reveal. Does high population correspond to high crime rates? This idea is very much contested. Generally, we can slip into such cliché that high population density implies high crime rates. But whether this is true for India or not, let's explore the relevant data a little more further. Crimes are recorded as cognizable crimes in India. An example of cognizability of crime is if a scheduled caste person uses abusive language towards you, would not be considered a cognizable crime. But if you abuse back using his caste identity, with or without evidence on his complaint, you would be booked under cognizable crime as referred in special local laws. Cognizable crimes in India are divided into two types: Indian Penal Code and special local laws. Crimes related to foreigners' identity are dealt with special local laws. According to the most recent data available of the Government of India, the number of total cognizable crimes, that is IPC and SLL, with that of total IPC and SLL crimes against women in each state indicate that the total crimes against women is reported very low as compared to the total cognizable crimes in India. Let's see it more closely in the next slide. Even though in those states where the total cognizable crimes are very high, like that of Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Bihar, Delhi and Rajasthan are having moderate values. The crime against women show very distinct values, distinctly lower values, let us say, at other states. However, people in West Bengal have been equally criminal to women and men, even though its total cognizable crime counts show lower values. In terms of counts of crimes against women, the highest 15 states where counts have been more than 10,000 are Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Bihar, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and also Manipur. The data of the total cognizable crimes against women include dowry-based crimes, crimes by family members to women, etc., etc. Therefore, it would be better to concentrate on those crimes against women that might preferably concern foreigners more. For example, murder with rape, acid attack, attempt to acid attack, kidnapping women, rape and assault on women with intent to outrage her modesty. 35 districts where most frequent kidnapping women cases have occurred with values higher than 400 counts are indicated here. However, these 35 districts are mainly located in 10 states. And these 10 states are Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana and Haryana. Next crime that concerns foreigners about India is rape. 35 districts where most frequent rape cases have occurred with values higher than 150 counts are located in 9 states as indicated here. These 35 districts with high counts of rapes are mainly in Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Jharkhand, Telangana and Karnataka. There are 22 districts where acid attacks on women have happened more than twice during the year 2022 in India. They are mainly located in 8 states of India. Majority of them are in West Bengal. However, the names of all the states where these districts are located are Karnataka, West Bengal, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Odisha, Bihar and Jammu and Kashmir. Murder with rape is most gruesome crime that can happen to humanity. There are 12 districts where murder with rape cases have happened more than thrice during the year 2022 in India. They are mainly located in 8 states, majorly in Uttar Pradesh. However, all the states where these districts are mostly located are Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Telangana and Haryana. Nonetheless, this data can only get meaningful explanations if it is compared with that of the respective cases in China. Nonetheless, though the crime-related data are available on Chinese government website, like that of National Bureau of Statistics and also Supreme People's Court, that is SPC, yet the data of NBS is not comprehensive in terms of crimes reported and the data of SPC are prosy in nature. It cannot be questioned because governments have their own regions of responsibility due to the nature of sensitivities crimes associate. That without eagle-eyed perspective cannot be understood by individuals like us. But I personally believe data with true characteristics should be displayed because it has many positive implications. However, there are international organizations that India and China are members of, that is UNO and World Bank, and they have some data on same crime parameters for both the countries. According to the latest available data on India from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes, that is UNODC, the total crimes that include violent and sexual crimes only and are counted per 100,000 population are far lower for India than that of the world, as indicated for the year 2010, 11, 12 and 13 here. However, in comparison to China, the rate of crimes, that is counted crimes per 100,000 people, are 5 to 6 times higher for India. You could see the blue series is India and the yellow series depicted is China. Nevertheless, these data, including that of counts, rates and density, cannot have exactitude but likelihoods, because humans sometimes almost associate with purposeful and purposeless movements also. In other words, the people can have both Brownian and vectored motion. Brownian motion is the random movement of the particles in a fluid. If we substitute the particle with people and fluid with system, that is society, then the random movement of the people in the society is directly correlated with that of the perceived feeling of the crowdedness. There is no data for variable called people's Brownian motion because this idea is unhackneyed and used as an epithet only here. However, more of it, if the employment rate is higher, then the people would have more random movements, thus giving more perceived feelings of crowdedness. According to the World Bank data, unemployment rate in India and China are almost equal for the year 2022. However, these were higher for India during previous years. I hereby would stop for the second notion of the Chinese friends and would leave on the basis of these data to ponder little more by them. Now let us think about the third notion, that is, casteism is still practiced in India or not. This question can have clear answers as it seems, but it is very complex because of the combination of the two categories of people grouped under same headings, and therefore, the nature of the data is more complex than it appears. In simple and categorical illustration, we can say that if the crime counts against scheduled castes and tribes is considerably higher, that means casteism is still criminally practiced in India. If not, then we could say that casteism in India has faded and is rarely practiced. Let's see what does the crime portal of India have revealed. According to the most recent data on crimes by the National Crimes Report Bureau of India, most of the cases related to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are concentrated in Uttar Pradesh. Reading is 3081. Other states with relatively moderate counts of cases are Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Himachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana and Tamil Nadu. And there are states where no cases against scheduled castes and scheduled tribes have been reported. In my lifetime, I have not seen scheduled caste people having a backward life than that of the upper caste people in India. However, the scheduled tribes, due to their extreme living habits, need systematic government planning for their uplift. To make the advantages of the government reforms reach the truly needy people, the government at each level of its hierarchy and sector has to be specific towards their target groups. Besides, some cases could be over-reported and some cases could be under-reported due to the nature and culture of a nation. However, some cases even could be perjuriously reported, falsely reported. Inside the story is that the cases related to caste discrimination is over-reported in India. If we consider the total counts of capital invested in reforms related to lower caste group, then they are the most fortunate and privileged people living in India today. However, cases related to physical injury, rape and murder are very less likely to be falsely reported. Please be informed that it was not a research conducted, but a numerical data-based approach to address the notions only. I have not churned the data at correlational and inferential levels. Nonetheless, due to the paucity of relevant systematic data, it is not easy either. Different countries will have different definitions sometimes for the same kind of variable, and therefore the inclusion of the characteristics could differ. Last but not the least, obscurity and inconspicuousness of crimes are more dangerous than the obviousness of crimes, because in the cases of obscurity, the elements of surprise predominates, which eliminates the precatory factors of safety, precautions and preparations. So we cannot say, since crime data for a country are not available, so the country is a safer place to live in, or other way around either. Data in any form, including texts, sound, images, videos, numbers and others, but should be available to the public. Surveillance data are capable to display the more discrete details at granular levels. With the advancement in technology, our methods of data collections and calculations also need to be reconsidered. But I believe we have to learn to live with data and die with data. Thank you for listening and have a good time. Thank you very much. You can contact me on my email that you can see on the slide. Thank you and bye-bye.